Any other questions before we begin? No? Okay. Let's start with electrical, shall we? Who can tell me electricity's path to the house? Let's get it cracking. Not everybody all at once.
I can do it.
Okay, let's go.
I was trying to finish my food. So it starts at the transformer.
Okay.
From the transformer, it goes to the service drop.
Okay.
From the service drop, it goes to the service point.
Service point. Okay.
Service point. I think about it. From the service point, it goes to the weatherhead, down through the mast, through the service.
Hold up.
entrance.
Before the weatherhead, there is something.
The drip loop.
The drip loop is correct. Okay.
From the drip loop, it goes to the weatherhead.
Uh-huh.
Through the mast.
Yeah.
Through the is it the service entrance? It's right under the service mast. It's service. Can I go back to that?
No.
I know everything after that.
Okay, so you're at the mast.
I'm at the mast.
Okay, it comes down, and then what do you have?
It's the service entrance.
Before that, you've got to have what?
The meter.
Yeah, which is inside of the
meter. The meter base.
yes.
Okay, my mind went to somewhere else. From the meter base, it goes through the service entrance cables into the home.
That's correct. Into the panel where we have our service equipment. What are the access, or not the access, but the clearance requirement for overhead cables over, say, a walkway?
Say 10 feet?
10 feet over the walkway?
I think so.
What about a driveway?
12 feet.
What about a highway?
18 feet.
That is correct. Tell me about voltage, current, and resistance. In your own words, explain it to me. Voltage, current, and resistance. What is that? What are those? Okay, give me one. I won't be greedy. Just give me one. Anyone.
Voltage is pressure.
Say more.
Is how much flows through the wire, the current that flows through the wire. Right.
I liked the pressure word better.
Okay. But it's measured in volts. That's better.
Yeah. So voltage is the force of the electrons moving along the conductor. It is measured in volts. Who can tell me about current?
I can. The current is the flow of the electrons measured in amperes or amps.
Correct. Who has resistance? Resistance?
Resistance is measured in ohms.
Correct. What is it?
That's the pipe size.
It flows against the current.
Resistance is anything that slows or opposes the flow of the electricity. Literally, it's literally exactly what it sounds like. Resistance. Okay. Remember, you need to understand each of those beyond just a definition, right? Because where, for example, we see our circuit breakers are rated for a certain amperage, which means a certain amount of current that they are rated to allow. Voltage, we see that in our whole system. We know that we're operating in our residential homes off of a single phase 12240 volt system. So that is the amount of pressure that we have access to as far as our electrical service in our home. We have 120 volts for our smaller appliances and equipment, and then we have the 240 for our larger. Okay. Tell me about um the enclosure. What is the enclosure? Quickly, y'all, let's go. Enclosure. Who? Is somebody saying something? If so, I can't make it out. Enclosure. What is the enclosure?
The enclosure is the breaker box that it's the metal case that encloses the breakers and the electrical equipment.
We got a couple different types. What are they?
We've got the circuit breaker with the little switches. We have the fuse style.
Hold it. Those are types of OPDs or overcurrent protection devices. I want to know the type of enclosure.
Meter main
That's correct. Meter main, which is what? What does meter main have?
has both.
Has
Has both
both what?
the
Meter main. What does it have?
Has
The main lug and the main breaker.
The main disconnect, your panel board, and your meter all in one enclosure, as opposed to your main breaker, which is your most common setup. It has the main breaker plus all of your branch circuit breakers. The meter is still separate from that. Okay. And then we have our panel boards. We got a single bus and a split bus panel board. What is the minimum clear space requirement in front of the panel?
36.
That's correct. What is the minimum total width clearance requirement for the panel?
30.
30. And the headroom clearance requirement?
Is 72.
A little bit higher.
79.
78. 78. What does the EGC do? What does the EGC do? EGC. EGC, are you with me?
EGC is equipment grounding conductor,
Indeed.
and it's a wire that connects to the electrical equipment
Okay.
and to the grounding system.
So what does it do?
It serves as a pathway. It serves as a pathway
From what to what?
from the appliances to the grounding system.
Which is where? So my EGC wire, you say one end would be at the appliance or the equipment, the other end would terminate where?
Grounding system in the building.
Where would the wire terminate?
can be on your grounding bus bar.
That's correct. Remember our grounding bus bar full of our green wires or our bare copper wires, those are the EGC wires. What connects the grounding bus bar to the grounding electrode?
Is it a bonding? No, that ain't it. The EGC?
The grounding bus bar to the grounding electrode. So Megan just told us that our EGC wires terminate to that grounding bus bar, but now I want to know what connects that grounding bus bar to the grounding electrode. The GEC is correct. Say it with your chest, Bree. The GEC is the larger copper wire that connects the grounding or the neutral grounding bus bar to the GE or the grounding electrode outside. See, what you were saying was a bonding jumper. The bonding jumper connects the two bus bars. Connects your two, if you have again a grounding or neutral grounding, it connects those together to form a complete path. Okay? Everybody got that? So remember, you got your EGC, your GEC, and then your GE. EGC is at the equipment, from the equipment back to the panel, from the panel to the ground. The connector is the GEC or the grounding electrode um, conductor. Okay. Now, overcurrent. We talked about the two types, which are what? The two main types of overcurrent protection devices?
The circuit breaker and the fuses.
Circuit breaker and fuses is correct. For our fuses, well, first, before we do that, what's the main purpose of our overcurrent protection devices?
It protects
It's
the
go ahead, sorry.
it protects the circuit if the current is too high.
Correct.
So it will open the circuit, so electricity will stop running.
That's correct. If we have too much current or over current protection, right? That is what we are using it for. Also to protect us from short circuits, which can create sparks and arcing that can create fires. So the OPDs automatically disconnect or trip in order to stop the fault. Okay. So for the fuses, the um Edison base, again, this is the older, no longer permitted. Edison base, no longer permitted. Type S base was developed to address the problem with the Edison base. As far as our circuit breakers, remember we've got our single pole breaker that controls one hot wire, and then our double pole that controls two hot wires at the same time. These are used for our 240-volt loads, your dryers, things like that. Our wiring types. What is the most common type of interior residential wiring?
Omex,
What is the proper term, Mr. Inspector?
and NC,
NM.
NM.
NM, non-metallic sheathed,
sorry.
or the brand name Romex. This is again, you have insulated conductors and your either bare ground wire. These are color coded. Your Romex wires color coded by the jacket is color coded by the size. So a 14 gauge wire would have what color jacket?
White.
White,
A 12 gauge wire,
yellow,
a 10 gauge wire.
Orange.
Okay, and NM should be supported every how many feet?
4.5 feet.
4.5 is correct. Okay. Now when we talk about our branch circuits, we know these are the circuits that flow through the house. So for a 15 amp circuit, what size wire would serve a 15 amp circuit?
14.
14. What about what amp breaker would correspond with a 12 gauge wire? 20 amps is correct.
Okay, I'm thinking.
And for a 10 gauge wire, the circuit is going to be how many amps? 30. 14, 15, 12, 20, 10, 30. Okay.
I got the questions in like scenario based, just like you just described the last two questions you did during the test.
Say that again.
The questions I got during the exam was a scenario based to answer the wiring gauge. So it was something around these standards is used for these standards in the house and stuff like that.
Yeah, they ask that typically multiple times in a few different ways. They will ask. All right, so for our receptacles, we use a 120-volt 3-slot grounded polarized receptacle, as well as a 244-slot grounded receptacle for our larger appliances. What does polarization mean or refer to?
Means the hot and neutral are connected correctly. So it aligns with the proper plug hole, the receptacle hole.
That's correct, because the neutral slot is the slightly larger slot on the left, whereas the hot slot is on the right, and then the round grounding hole is at the bottom. Okay, and that is a polarized receptacle, because it has to basically again match up. You don't want them confused, forcing or to read as a uh bootleg ground. Okay. All right, let's get to some questions. I forgot to set the timer. How long have we been going? About 15 minutes.
20.
20 minutes. Okay, give us a timer for 15 minutes for our electrical questions, will ya? Y'all want to earn some points for the exam or what?
Yes.
Okay, let me pull up the questions before we start the timer. Okay, so let's say the person who has the most points at the end of all of our systems, an extra +3 bonus points. What you say? Deal or no deal?
Deal. Why not?
Megan looking like, what's the catch? There's no catch, Megan, I swear. Megan was like, oh no, Nita. There's no catch. Just 3 points up for grab. So, all right, let me bring these up so everyone can see. Okay, first question. So drop the correct answer in the chat. Let me pull up the text box so I can see. First question. A FCI device trips when it detects. Still go through your process. Translate first. Eliminate first. Translate first. Eliminate first. First answer, I have Cola with A. I have Megan with B, Luis with A, C with B, Miss Sims and Bree. Okay, Philip. Okay. So, oh wait a minute, this doesn't even. – Correct answer is B. Point goes to Megan. Megan on the board. Oregon in the mother effing building. All right, next question. Translate. Translate first. Do not answer this wrong because you did not translate. First answer C. Answer C. Second answer Luis with B. Megan says C. Miss Sims says C. Bree C. Philip D. Cola C. Correct answer is B.
Damn.
Point to Luis. Why is that? Because we asked about aluminum wire size, not copper. Aluminum has more resistance, is not as good of a conductor as copper, so we need a larger wire size. You follow? Did you translate it right or wrong? Yeah, because you was moving too fast. I synced it. I synced it all in your face. Next question. First answer, Megan. Correct answer is B. Point to Megan. Everybody got that right. Nicely done. Nicely done. All right, next question. First answer, Cola says B. Miss Sims says A. C says C. Megan says A. C. Correct answer is C. Point goes to C with the correct answer, C. Tennessee, stand up. All right, next question. First answer was Megan. B, 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 B. Everybody says B. B is the correct answer. That's 3 points for Megan. Next question. First answer C. She says A. Is she correct? C says B. Wait. Yeah.
I said A.
Oh, wait. I'm getting confused. Let me scroll down. Did you change it? Oh, no. A. Here it is. Okay. A. And then Cola was second with B. And so the correct answer is B. That's point to Cola. Delaware in the house tonight. All right, let me see who's last. Okay, Philip last. Next question. Thank you, Lamont. I appreciate that. First answer, Luis with A. Megan says B. C says A. Dakota says D. Miss Sim says B. The correct answer is B. Has to be within 3 feet of the sink edge. Point to Megan. Uh-oh, Megan's running away with this thing. That's 4 for the girl in Oregon. All right, next question. First answer, Louise says A. Then Cola says C. Miss Sims says B. C says D. Bree says C. Correct answer is C. Remember, you saw this the other day. So who that point go to? C?
No, it don't go to me.
Who says C first? Oh, my bad. That's Cola. My bad. Cola. Okay. Okay. All right, next question. Let me see who was last. I got Megan as the last answer. Next question. Translate and eliminate. It doesn't do any good to get it done first if it's not right. What are they asking? What can I eliminate? First answer, cola. Correct answer is C. Solid strand aluminum versus stranded aluminum. Correct answer C. Point goes to C. Every correct answer C get is C. All right, next question. Let me see who's last. Philip with C. Okay, next question. First answer, Megan. Correct answer is B. Nicely done. Everybody got that one right. Way to go. However, the point goes to Megan. All right, Bree. Next question. How much time we have? Timekeeper. Next question.
Got 5 minutes.
Okay. Thank you. MC. What does MC even stand for? Would be the first thing that I thought. All right, so that was first answer. Cola says B. Philip says B. Louise B. C. B. Miss Sims B. 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 Correct answer is B. Nicely done, everybody. Way to go. Point goes to Cola. Megan has 5. Cola has 3. C has 2. Luis has 1. We've got about 5 minutes left. Next question. First answer, cola. Correct answer is D, cola. Those are the analysis type of questions that you got, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. All right, next question. First answer, cola says B, Megan says C, Louise says C, C says A, Miss Sim says C. The correct answer is, in fact, C. So that is point to Megan. Nicely done, everybody who got that right. All right, next question. First answer C. Who answers A? Megan says B. Luis says A. Cola says B. C done messed up and changing her answer. B. Correct answer is, in fact, B. Nicely done. Most everybody got that one right. So that point goes to Megan. Megan has 7, Cola has 4, C has 2, Luis has 1. All right, next question. Translate. First. First answer, Luis says C. Philip, I'm assuming you meant B. Okay, yeah, B. Cola says D. B. Correct answer is B. Point to Philip. Okay. California knows how to party. Philip is on the board, baby. All right. Next question. First answer, cola. Cola says B. C says C. Cola says B and C says C. Philip says B. Megan says D. The correct answer is D. Who's that point go to? The answers came in too fast. Is that Megan?
Megan.
It's Megan.
And then we're done with the timer too.
I explained the scenario why it would be 15 amperes because again, is it because it's branch? I thought it's supposed to be consistent for the branch watt for circuitry.
You're saying why could it be 15 or 20?
Yes. Mhm.
What is the required receptacle rating for a 20 amp supplying 2 or more receptacles or outlets? Well, really, all of your general receptacle circuits could be 15 or 20, just depending upon what's housed on that actual circuit. Um, that's the only thing to me that, as far as the question would apply. Any branch circuit, again, that's for a 20 amp branch circuit, the outlets could be 15 or 20 amps. Because 15 is less than the 20, so you could work the 15 amp receptacle would still work with the 20 amp circuit breaker because it's still less than the 20 amps that is rated for. You just wouldn't want to go over for that particular circuit. How do we feel about electrical?
I was looking at it from the scenario of like normal bathroom outlet. If you have a double wall plate, double outlets, that's probably a branch from that cycle. So if we're thinking about, doesn't mean like one could be 15. I mean, I understand the compatibility. I'm just thinking this was more of a trick question, but I was seeing how it's applied to real life. Like if I have a double face plate, does that mean like one could be 15, one could be 20?
Not each slot.
Okay.
But remember, you're talking about a 20 amp branch circuit, and then what is the amperage for the actual outlet or the receptacle on that circuit? Not 15 or 20 each slot.
Okay.
And the question is sort of there leaves a lot because I could see I could see it's a little ambiguous. But I think what they're going for is the fact that um if you have basically regular receptacles, not a larger load or not a GFCI or anything like that, that it could be a 15 or a 20 amp outlet. I think is what they're trying to convey.
Okay.
And this is really one of those ones where it's like the best answer because the answer could be 15 or the answer could be 20, but since they have an answer that combines both of them, that makes it the best answer. So yeah, a trick question in that regard. How do we feel about electrical?
Need a little more work.
On
That's
which
pretty good.
on which section?
I just need to review the sizing, I think, a little bit more for the wires and stuff.
14, 15, 12, 20, 10, 30.
And
All right.
the ground wire, I didn't remember seeing different requirements for the measurement of the ground wire.
For the size.
Yeah.
Just remember that that GEC wire, when you look at it again, remember it's going to be the thickest or the largest wire on that bus bar. And so the number is going to, remember, in terms of our gauge sizes, the smaller the number, the larger the wire. And so that's why I think that question, I forget what it was asking, but it was like 6 gauge or something like that to indicate or to denote the larger GEC wire, whereas the other wires terminating on there would be 10s or 12s.
For that question with the GEC wire, if it was 100 amp circuit, would it be a smaller wire? Because I'm thinking that's why because I picked 6.
Let me look. Because it said something about for a 200 amp service.
200.
It's a 200 amp panel and a 4 gauge GEC.
Nah, I don't think it had I can't find that question. I don't think it had to do with the service size, because again, anything that's a minimum of 100 would be, where is that question? Would be the same. The ground. Oh, here it is. During inspection, a 200 amp panel is found with a 6 gauge copper. It's not the amperage of the panel. It's the fact that it's a 6 gauge. Because it would be the same thing if it were, again, since our minimum is it wouldn't matter if it was 150 or 200. You will still need the same size GEC. Okay, let's go. You want to go heating or plumbing next? One for
Plumbing.
plumbing. Who said plumbing?
Me. C.
Okay, so start us out with telling us how we get plumbing into the home. See?
I get it. So, starts at the water main. From the water main, mind you, all water that goes into the home is cold. Starts at the water main that's parallel to the homes. From the water main, it goes to the water. It's the water service line. From the water service line, it goes to the
What size?
3/4
Mm-hmm. 3/4 what?
inches.
Mm-hmm.
From the service water line or the water service line, excuse me, it goes to the water meter that's connected to the main water shutoff. From the main water shutoff, it goes through the distribution pipes, but one line goes to the water heater because it has to heat the water. And then all the other branches go to fixtures and like appliances.
Nicely done. See, let's go. Tennessee, represent. Miss Sims, would you tell me how my gas-fired water heater functions?
So in the gas water heater, it's hooked up to the hot and cold water. The cold water goes down through the drip tube to the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
where there is um, the burner is down there. It gets ignited where the gas ignites the burner and starts the fire. It warms it up, and then it goes out through the hot water line.
Okay. What's in the middle of the tank?
In the middle of the tank, there is. I forgot what it's called.
What is it doing?
I'm seeing two things. One of them is the NHIE, which is the like, isn't it taking out them not necessarily the impurities, but
The sacrificial rod. Yeah. Okay.
And the other is a tube. Is it a glass tube?
What is it? What is happening with the tube? What is it doing? What is its purpose? I'll give you a hint. It has to do with combustion.
Oh, the flue.
Yes.
The water.
Yeah. Wait, the flue.
No. The flue is taking out the gas.
Yes. Yes. So the flue is where the combustion gases are being transported up and out to go out through the draft hood at the top of the water heater. Now, Bree, tell me about the TPR. What is it? What is the TPR?
Isn't that the relief valve?
Yes, and it will engage when?
When there's too much pressure on the pipes.
Define too much pressure in like PSI.
When it's more than 80 psi.
Is it 80 or is that normal?
40 to 80 is 80 is the most. More than 80 is not normal.
Okay, so if we're talking about my TPR, then when is it going to open?
At 81. I don't know that one. Is it not at the 80?
No, somebody help her.
150 psi.
150 psi or
210
210 degrees Fahrenheit. You must know this. This will likely show up on the big boy test. You got to know that. 210 degrees. 210 degrees or 150 psi for the TP aura? (210 degrees, 150 psi). Okay, let's talk fixtures. For my bathroom lavatory, the minimum drain outlet size is what? See, give us a timer for 20 minutes. I think we've been going about 10. 7:51, yeah. Minimum drain outlet size for the lavatory.
1¼ inches.
1¼ inches. The minimum drain outlet for my kitchen sink.
1.5.
1.5 is correct. The minimum working space requirement in front of the sink. Can you do something for me? 21. 21 inches in front of the sink. What about the hold it 1 second. Okay, so if we're talking about the shower, the minimum door opening width for the shower.
22 inches.
Not 21, but 22 inches. And then the clearance, the amount of open floor space in front of the shower.
30 inches. 36 inches.
That's too much. Not
Is it 30?
less.
24.
24. 24 inches in front, 22 inches for the opening.
Where do you get 30 inches in diameter from? For shower? You said shower or toilet?
Well, I was talking about the opening size, not the actual diameter. Yeah, maybe you were thinking about the size of like the shower pan. Is maybe what you were thinking about. What is the minimum clearance requirement for the toilet horizontally?
15 inches.
15. In front. In front is 21. In front it is 21, but on the sides it is 15. Again, and is measured from the center. In a private water system, if we're talking about a well, what component draws groundwater from beneath the surface?
Is it the sump pump?
No. That's you're thinking private disposal for your sump. We're talking private supply for a well. There's a system that will draw the groundwater from a level underneath the surface that is basically saturated with water, and that's how we get the water in the well. It is called.
Aquifers?
That's correct. The aquifer. You will need to know that. You will need to know that. The wellhead should extend how many inches above ground level? How many?
18.
12 to 18 inches. The wellhead should extend 12 to 18 inches, and the surrounding ground area should slope away so that you don't have any water that is pooling. What activates and shuts off the pump, the pump for the well?
I'm thinking about something else. Never mind.
Drawing a blank.
Is it like an air admittance valve? Is that's totally different?
It's a
Is it like
switch.
because it opens and closes? It's a switch.
Pressure
Like an admittance
switch.
valve.
The pressure switch activates and shuts off the pump based on the pressure of the system. So it'll turn off the pump. The pump turns on at about 20 to 40 psi and turns off at 40 to 60 psi. This, if you were to do anything between now and Sunday, it would be review this, the private systems and those other heating systems that we did not cover. Because all that you know, a lot of this information, the clearances and all of that for the fixtures and the this and the that, you know that you are familiar with that. We've been going over that a lot. This information is likely where your blind spots are. Okay. There's nothing, either the other stuff, you basically either know it or you don't at this point. You're going to have to eliminate your way to victory. How much time do we have left?
14 minutes.
All right. Let's go drain. Okay. So if we're talking about the drain, what is the vertical pipe directly beneath the drain opening? The tailpiece. The tailpiece. They are generally how long?
6 to 12 inches.
6 to 12. 24 is too long for the tailpiece. Remember, this is when you open up the cabinet up under your sink and you're looking, you're going to see your tailpiece 6 to 12 inches long. And then what are you going to see?
The P trap.
The P trap, and it is going to have a water seal of
2 inches.
deep.
a minimum of 2 inches. The P trap size requirement for your lavatory sink.
1/4 to 1.5 inches.
Correct. A minimum of 1.25 for your P trap. Okay. And then whoever said 24, you were talking about the P trap, how many inches vertically the trap can be from the fixture outlet, which is 24 inches vertically. And then remember that your trap arm, the arm of the P trap, has to slope 1/4 of an inch per foot toward the drain. Your drain is relying on gravity to help it actually drain out. So every fixture needs a trap, and every trap needs a vent. That's correct. Every trap needs a vent. And in some cases, we can use a mechanical vent called an yes, ma'am. It's an AAV. Absolutely, positively correct. It is. Now, those vents, if they are going to discharge on the roof, they need to be a minimum of how high above your roof?
6.
Correct. Our main drain stack, what is its minimum size?
3 to 3 inches.
3 to 4 inches in diameter for your main drain stack. Your cast iron drain pipes should be supported horizontally at least every how many feet?
6 or 12. 3. The only two numbers is I got 6 and 12.
Okay, more than 6, less than 12.
More than 6?
8.
What's the other number?
10.
10. They only give you 4 multiple choices on the test, folks. So cast iron has to be supported horizontally every 10 feet. Remember, your cast iron is super heavy. Okay, so it only has to be supported every 10 feet. Okay, every 10 feet. All right, let's go private. So A sewage ejector system is used when?
When you have a well?
Yeah, when there's no
No, now Miss Sims, now we're talking about what you was talking about before. We talking about now we talking about private sewage disposal. So when we use a sewage ejector when what?
When it is installed below the level of the public sewer.
Yes, when your fixtures are below the elevation or the grade of your public sewer or your septic, then you have to use a sewage ejector system. Okay? So when the plumbing fixtures are basically below the public sewer line, so they can't drain into there, you have to have a sewage ejector system. What does a sump pump do?
It removes groundwater that accumulates around the foundation.
That's correct. A sump pump removes groundwater or storm water from your foundation, from your basement or your crawl space. This is not the same as a sewage ejector. Why not? What's the main difference?
A sump pump does not handle sewage. It only cleans dirty
That's
water.
that's correct. Your sump pump is not handling any sewage. This is clear water, basically. It's not waste. Okay. And your standard pit is typically at least 18 inches in diameter. How deep?
24.
24 inches for your sump pump. All right, let's get to the questions. How much time do we have?
8.5.
8.5. All right, let me pull up the questions. Okay, first question coming to the screen. We're not gonna race this time. I want you to just get that focus on getting the answer correct. So Megan is our winner. +3 for Megan. Nicely
Yeah,
done,
Megan.
Megan.
Thank you.
Good job, Megan.
Oh, Luis had the bounce. Okay, cool. All right, drop your answer in the chat. Minimum drainage pipe size that can accept flow from a toilet. Minimum. Correct answer is C. Correct answer is C. Minimum. All right, next question.
I don't see your screen. I'm sorry.
Oh, wait.
Okay, now I see it. Okay.
A maximum. Did you read it right? Did you translate? A maximum. 36 inches or 3 feet. Oh, hold up. 1 second. These are the wrong ones. Oh, that's not it either. Where's that? Oh my goodness. Oh. Oh, okay. This is kind of messed up, but we'll have to rock out with it. Nonetheless, I didn't know it was like that. Present view. Sorry, guys. Okay. Can you see minimum slope required for a shower floor? Can you see that? No, you can't. Okay.
Okay, now I see it.
Okay. What's our correct answer? Correct answer is B. Minimum slope required. Minimum slope. All right, next question. Minimum opening size. Nicely done. Correct answer is C. Next question. Correct answer is D. Bottom circuit vent. Next question. Translate, then eliminate, and choose the best answer. Correct answer is C. For some reason, I don't have the answer slide for that one. Next question. Correct answer is, in fact, C. Nicely done. Next question. we just talked about this one. Correct answer. Correct answer is C, 24. The minimum door opening is B, 22. Um, Next question. Timer stopped. Okay, this is our last one. What's the correct answer? A. Um. Okay, let's go heating. Actually, before we do heating, I wanna toss in a couple of these professional responsibility questions, or go over just a couple of these sections, because to Cola's point, they are fair game and you can definitely see them. So again, remember, for plumbing, review the private systems, the private supply system, which is your wells, and your private sewage disposal system. So the same way that we know all of those facts and that information about the fixtures and the water heater and stuff like that, you want to try to get familiar with that on the private side of things as well. Now, as it relates to professional responsibilities, there's a section in there that talks about dealing with dissatisfied clients. And there's a question that basically asked, what do you have, or what do you do if you have a dissatisfied client? And the answer is your E&O, your errors and omissions. This is insurance, that professional liability insurance that protects you against any sort of claim or demand or anything like that from your client. So again, the two types of insurance, they ask you any insurance question, either is going to be about property, which is general liability or insurance coverage that covers you for any damage to the property, or if it's professional, you miss something, is going to be E&O, or your errors and omissions. Remember that small claims court handles disputes that are under like anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000, depending upon your area. So small claims court, if they ask you a question about where you would file, the answer is small claims court. The most the three most common um liability issues for home inspectors are: number one, breach of contract. So basically, if you fail to meet the obligation that's spelled out in your agreement, your pre-inspection agreement. Negligence, which is basically you don't exhibit or demonstrate a reasonable amount of care that any other normal inspector would in those circumstances. And then fraud is basically when you intentionally deceive in order to have personal gain. So there are those three like main liability categories. And then with fraud, there's common law fraud and statutory fraud. Another question that I know that comes up is around a pre-inspection agreement or your contract. So an enforceable contract has to have four parts: offer, acceptance, consideration, and what's the last one? Offer, acceptance, consideration. Um Oh, mutual assent. Basically, both parties agreeing to the terms. The question that they typically always ask you is about consideration. Consideration is some exchange of value for you, like payment for the service for you to enter into the contract. There's another question about agency, an agent that can act on behalf of another person who is the principal. So in your home inspection, your client needs to sign your pre-inspection agreement directly. They cannot have an agent to sign for them. So that's where the term real estate agent comes for. Insurance agent, somebody acting on behalf of another person.
Nita,
Yes.
can you slow down like a little bit?
No, all of this is in your book. I'm just reviewing all of it. All of it is in the professional responsibilities chapter in the book.
Okay.
I just want you to know what to look for and what to know. So just highlight, make a quick note, and then go back to it. I think that's really it though. Honestly, the contract one I know is a big piece. The insurance is a big piece, and then breach of contract, negligence, or fraud. They may give you a scenario, and they're like, which one basically of these is that? Is it negligence? Is it breach of contract, or is it fraud?
There was actually a question that I saw. It could be different from maybe someone else taking it. So if let's say you're inspecting the bathroom, right? You try to pull the bathroom and something breaks in the bathroom. If something breaks, how do you deal with that? So the scenario came like, as an inspector, you broke the bathroom, maybe the tub or the cover or something like that. Do you report that to the homeowners and go through your error and omission, something like that? The answer was kind of a joint answer, or just report it to the homeowner, or just leave it and say nothing. I laugh at myself.
Wait. So the answer, there was no general liability answer.
I think there was general liability answer, but I might have gotten the option wrong because again, I didn't understand the concept of error and omission. But I just felt like maybe you also have to report that to the homeowner or the
Typically, you do.
client
Yeah.
before the replacement offer for replacement, right?
So in those type of questions, those what I mean when they're asking you about when it's an insurance question. If it is about property, the house, anything that you would have messed up in the house, that's general liability. So whatever they have attached with the general liability answer, that's still the answer. If it says you forgot to report on a leaky bathtub or whatever the case may be, that is professional liability, which is E&O, errors and omissions. So just make that distinction between whether or not they're talking about property or like your reporting, which would be more professional. Um, any questions on any of that? Did y'all read that chapter in the book? You must didn't. That's why you want me to slow down because it's your first time hearing it.
Exactly.
Clock it.
I told you that I started reading it when I got home, because I know I didn't tell you. I started reading it when I got home, and I got it pretty much good.
I'm gonna be honest with you. On my exam, there won't be many questions on that because I'm focused on making sure you know the 10 major systems. But on the big boy, as reported by Cola, it is fair game.
One more thing. Like when you get a home inspection to be performed, let's say the homeowner or whoever is hosts the property signed a contract, and now are they really enforced to be there, or let's just say the brother-in-law is going to be on site with you? How would you say that contract? Is there something the brother-in-law needs to sign? Let's say the real person that brought you the job is not around, but they have a family member around, are they going to be responsible to sign the report? How would you handle that scenario?
You mean as far as a test answer or like in real life?
I think it was a test answer, but for me, I think real life answer was what I gave, and I think I might be wrong. But the test answer was more looking for like, oh, is it compulsory for the brother-in-law to sign the contract?
That sounds like one of those questions I just talked about that relates to agency. An agent. No, nobody else can sign for the client. The client has to sign themselves because that is who you are establishing the agreement with from a test taking perspective, and then from a in person from a real life perspective that would not happen because I would not be showing up unless I had the pre-inspection agreement signed by the client. Now I don't care who show up to the inspection, but my agreement, my contract is with the client, and that is who would need to sign. Anything else on the professional responsibilities? That's one reason why, again, you want to have them sign. You want all of that stuff, the signing and the money taken care of before you even show up. In my opinion, I don't want to be having to conduct like that type of administrative business while I'm there to do the inspection. That part of it needs to be taken care of prior to. I don't even feel like I'm booked for an inspection unless I have payment as well as the pre-inspection agreement. It's just, to me, a better practice. All right. So let me remove that. We're down to heating. Okay, there are 3 heat transfer methods. What are they?
Convection, conduction, radiation.
Yes, explain them to me, Bree. Would you please?
Conduction is solids. Heat transfer through solids. Convection, I should know that one, but radiation is heat transfer through heat waves from the sun.
So if conduction is heat transferred through solids, then convection has to be heat transferred through
Gases.
or liquids. Correct.
Liquids.
Yeah, liquids or gases. So those are your 3 heat transfer methods. Remember your combustion. We need a fuel plus oxygen. That oxygen is called what?
Combustion air.
Combustion air. We can receive our combustion air from inside or outside. Remember that there are byproducts of combustion. In addition to heat, there is carbon dioxide, there is water vapor or condensation. However, there is also carbon monoxide, which is toxic. Okay. Our heat energy sources, what are they? What are our heat energy sources?
Solid fuels and liquid fuels.
Solid, liquid,
Fuel and liquid and gas.
gas. There's one more.
Uh, electric resistance.
Yes, electric resistance. So solid, these are your wood stoves or your fireplaces where we're burning solid fuel. Liquid, these are your oil or your boilers. Gas, obviously that's your natural gas, and then electric, so your electric baseboard heating, that type of thing. We have heat distribution methods. What are they? How do we distribute the heat?
We use a forced air systems or gravity systems and radiant systems.
And there's one more.
Oh, what else? Hydronic.
Yes. Okay. So your forced air is going to be your most common, has a fan. We're forcing or blowing the air. Your gravity is, remember, those are the octopus furnaces. We are relying on the natural rising of warm air, otherwise known as
Stack effect.
the stack effect. Okay. And then with hydronic, this is when we have a water, right? So we have a boiler, heats the water, creates the steam, travels through the pipes, goes to the radiator or either your infloor tubing, and then your radiant. So heat is transferred directly from some sort of warm type of service. Now we learned about primarily two categories of or we learned about there are four categories for gas fired appliances. We focused on two of them. What are they?
Category 1 and category 4.
Okay, tell me about the category 1.
Category 1 is
Condensing or non-condensing?
condensing.
You sure?
Yep.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Non-condensing. Category 1 is non-condensing.
Okay.
So, in our category 1 gas appliances, we talked about two different types.
Natural draft or induced draft.
That's correct. And what happens in our natural draft?
The natural draft are the old style ones that the gases rise up just by the stack effect. And then the induced draft ones have a fan that kind of blows the combustion gases out.
That is correct. Remember that. So your natural draft or your draft hood furnace, these are basically obsolete right now. You won't see them unless you're in a super old home. The induced draft is a more modernized version of that, sort of a standard efficiency furnace. And it does have an inducer fan that basically clears the combustion gases out so that you can continue the heating process. Miss Sims, tell me about a category 4 furnace.
The category 4 is high efficiency furnace.
Uh-huh.
And it's a condensing furnace.
Yes, ma'am. Why is it high efficiency?
Because it keeps
How does it do that?
keep most of the heat.
You got two something. It's two something.
You got two of something, says Bree. So what do you got two of?
Yeah, two pipe direct vents in design.
Nah. No.
Why is the efficiency? Because the gases are cooled so that the water vapor can condense.
Okay, but I want Bree said we got two of something, and I want to know what we got two of.
The heat exchangers.
Two heat exchangers. Remember, the heat exchanger is the star of the show. It's the heart of it all. And the reason why it is a high efficiency furnace and how it does what you were explaining, Miss Sims, is because it has two heat exchangers, a primary and a secondary heat exchanger that's able to extract almost all of the usable heat. Is basically what you were trying to say, right? Yeah, pretty much so. Small things, you know. So on the venting side of things, what is my vent pipe material for a category 4 furnace?
PVC.
PVC. Why is it PVC?
Because it's cool. Yeah, the air, the water that comes out of it is cool.
The water? I thought we was talking about the furnace.
Yeah, we're talking about the furnace, but I'm thinking about the line that it has. It also has a condensation.
Okay, but I want to know why the vent material is PVC. I liked where you were going, but we took a turn when we started talking about water.
I'm thinking it could be PVC because it's cool air that can go through it.
What air is cool?
The combustion air.
Yeah. Okay. So the vent gas is cool. Why is the vent gas cool?
Because that's what it's supposed to be. But no. Yeah.
We just talked about it.
Because of the cycle.
What cycle?
In
In a high efficiency furnace, we just talked about why is it high efficient? Okay, so if we are extracting the majority of the usable heat by way of those two heat exchangers, then our exhaust or our vent gas is cool. And that is why it can go through a PVC vent pipe as opposed to a category 1 furnace where the vent gas is approximately what temperature?
300 degrees.
300 of them things. So in that case, we need what type of material for our category 1 vent?
A masonry chimney. Type B vents or in line.
A type B vent, which is a metal vent, and it typically will exhaust into a chimney. Okay? Do you understand category 1 versus category 4?
Yes.
How much time we got? 11. Goodness. Okay. Where does combustion happen in an oil-fired system?
Is that the burners?
Not the burners.
He's a heat chamber.
It is something related to a chamber. Yes, it is. It is a type of chamber. What is that chamber called? Refractory combustion chamber. That's where the flame starts or forms and how heat is transferred to the system. Again, this is what you need to look over. Don't worry. Again, that other stuff, don't worry about that. You need to review this. Oil heating, electric heating, hot water heating, steam heating. That's what you need to review. Let me get to the questions.
See you, Cola.
Carla, you leaving? All right, peace. Have a good one. I shall forever live my Okay. First question. Translate and eliminate, please. Flue gas just means vent gas, exhaust gas, all of that is the same. At the vent connector, it's 150 degrees on a non-condensing furnace. So I need to, in my mind, remember non-condensing. What does that mean? Okay, I have an idea of what they're asking me. Now I need to eliminate. What can I eliminate? Oh, did everybody answer? Bree, where your answer? Okay. Correct answer is B. We just talked about a non-condensing furnace. What's the temperature of the vent gas?
300 degrees Fahrenheit.
That's correct. So if it's 150 degrees, what does that mean?
It's too low.
It's cooling too fast. And you would have condensation forming in your flue because it is cooling too fast. Next question. Correct answer is B. Nicely done. Nicely done. Next question. Correct answer is D. Direct vent. Nicely done. Next question. I want you to translate. Think about this, a mini split system. Okay, as soon as you say split system, I know I've got I've got condenser outside, I've got evaporator coil inside. So now you're saying I have an indoor wall mounted unit. So I've got a unit that's mounted on the wall that is dripping water. Okay, cool. Now, what can I eliminate? Which one?
A.
A?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else I can eliminate?
The compressor.
D, I would agree. Okay, so I've eliminated A and D. I'm now down to B and C. I've got water dripping from the indoor part of a mini split system. What is the most likely or the best answer?
So could it be closed?
What's the best answer?
I'm gonna say B.
Miss Sims, what you say?
B.
Bree, what you say?
I'm still with B.
Megan?
B.
Good, because B is the correct answer. I'm not sure why you all were typing D in the chat.
Did I type B? Girl, you know you typed.
You and Steve put D in the chat. Okay, do you see how when we slow down and we translated, we thought about the question and what they were talking about, how you eliminated the answer that you thought it was. Did you see how we just did that? That is how this process works for you. That was a perfect example of how it works in your favor if you do it. Because once you understand the question, even if you thought it was D, I'm eliminating now with my understanding, my translation of the question, I'm eliminating D as even being an option. And even if you didn't know, again, the complete answer, you know, again, when they say split system, did your mind audit like, okay, I got my condenser outside, and even if I didn't know what it was on the inside, I got something on the inside because I remember that from split system. Dripping water. So condensation, dripping water, even if you didn't know the correct answer.
I thought that. I was like condensation, dripping water, and I was like, well, I don't know.
But this is why, again, you should be eliminating first before you're trying to choose the correct answer. I'm telling you, it works. It works. Even if you know 1000% the answer is correct. Again, it does nothing but serve as a way to check. So now once you answer those, I don't need to go back through those 200 questions and check and make sure I answer. I eliminated and my answer was still standing. So I'm going with that answer because it remained after I eliminated, after I understood the question. So either you eliminate your way to the correct answer or you eliminate your way to confirming the answer that you thought was correct. Either way it go, it benefits you. Next question. Nicely done. Correct answer is B. Next question. Correct answer. Nicely done. Correct answer is B. Next question. Nicely done. Correct answer is B. Category 4, condensing. Next question. Correct answer is B. A metal vent connector standard efficiency. What am I thinking? Metal vent standard efficiency. What type of furnace is that?
Category 1.
And which type of category 1?
Induced draft.
Correct. Induced draft. Okay. And that's why the connector running for so long is not good. Okay. Again, remember that question. The vent gas temperature is 300 degrees. By the time it runs 10 feet, the vent gas temperature will be cooling. We will have condensation. No bueno. Oh wow. Here's a plumbing question. Oh wait, here go my plumbing. Okay, I messed up. Oh wait, no, I didn't. Oh yeah, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. Hot water boiler. You have no clue, do you? No clue. Yeah, please go over those sections. You can't have these areas as the blind spots. Oh, okay. Correct answer is B. Good job. All right, next question.
It's already answered.
I haven't shown it yet.
Yeah, I'm seeing it too. I just saw it. Oh, okay.
Nicely done. Correct answer is creosote. Next question. Most likely choose the best answer. Eliminate. Eliminate. What you got, Bree? Correct answer C. Most likely indicates. Most likely. B, yes, it's true, but most likely. Next question. Combustion air duct. Correct answer is B. Flexible duct, not for our combustion air.
Oh,
All right, let me go that one. Oops. Next question. Correct answer is A. And how much time we have left?
The timer went off. You didn't hear
Oh,
the timer?
oh, my bad. Okay, this is the last question. Last one for all the marbles.
I thought you heard it. My bad.
All right, YouTube, thank you for joining us. Make sure you hit the like button, pre-order your study guide. The link is in the chat.